Hi, I'm Professor Beck Strah.
And I'm Professor Eric Bronson, and this is Prison Breakdown.
2, 3, break!
Hate to spoil his fun, but we're gonna bust out of here.
2, 3, break!
I'm locked in here with you. You're locked in here with me.
2, 3, break!
I can honestly say I'm a changed man. No danger to society here. God's honest truth.
2, 3, break!
I'm not leaving this cell. I'll get out my way. The right way.
2, 3, break!
Ahoy and salutations, dudes.
Ahoy. And salutations.
Hello.
Greetings. Hey, dudes. Before we get going today, I have something very important to the beautiful, lovely state of Rhode Island I want to talk about, and that is the show, The Real Housewives of Rhode Island.
Oh, boy.
It premiered this last week, and did either of you watch it?
No.
Oh,
It did.
No.
Yeah,
Tell me you did.
So I had to watch it. I am curious. I'm a man of culture, Eric, and
Yes,
this is of the culture.
definitely. You definitely are.
And culture forces me to watch such a thing, and wouldn't you know it, the last 20 minutes or so take place in this little town I know of called Portsmouth. That's
Portsmouth.
my friend Eric Bronson is pretty familiar with.
Yes, Portsmouth.
Now they throw a real 4th of July bash out there. I found the show so entirely grating. It was annoying. The editing, the cuts, the music, all of it very annoying. A couple of the Real Housewives themselves are like, they're fine. The whole thing thrives on drama and interpersonal conflict.
I just got
And
like all of these shows. Everybody who's on them represent the worst in society, don't they? I mean,
I've never seen this before. I've never watched any of it because I don't like reality television. Just as a rule, it is that though. But it is. I don't know. There's some women on there that I could like not tell the difference between them. And you see them sitting next to each other and you can't tell the difference between them. And they're like, we have the same plastic surgeon. And you're like, okay.
Are you serious?
All right, hacky joke time. How are they going to call it the Real Housewives when they're more than 50% plastic?
Thank you. Our podcast needed that joke right now.
Yes.
Right here,
yes.
right now. So was this the buzz in Portsmouth for last 4th of July for you guys?
I mean, there have been people talking about it being filmed in town, and people in town being, but I don't run. Obviously, I don't run in those types of circles. So
no, stop it.
Yeah. So I haven't heard too much about it. It is on social media that this is going on, and here's where they're going to be filming or whatever, but I don't pay much attention to it.
Well, to both of you, I recommend giving it a watch. Just the first episode.
Boy.
You won't enjoy it. I think I understand the Real Housewives phenomenon a little now, having seen it.
It's going to make me angry, isn't it?
It won't not make you angry.
It won't make you happy.
Yeah, I promise that. It's empty calories. But you will find it interesting, and you may even recognize some places in this beautiful state.
Mm-hmm. Especially if it's being filmed over here, I'll definitely. Oh yeah, I know where that is in Portsmouth.
Yeah, you might.
Which
see
is
some cameras.
definitely one of those fun things when I get a robocall from someone and they'll ask me something about being from Portsmouth. I'm like, oh, you're not actually in Rhode Island, are you?
Nope, you're out.
Yeah, that's a big tell.
Westerly, my home. It's nobody gets that name wrong because it's too easy.
Right. But and that's the thing. I never knew Portsmouth was a mispronounced word. Because there's what, probably 15 states have a town of Portsmouth.
You would think so, something like that. Yeah. So let's start a national education campaign for listeners to learn where Eric Bronson lives.
Yeah. In Portsmouth.
So anyway, I can't unrecommend it enough, but I still think that you two should watch it. And have either of you ever seen a Real Housewife show?
No.
Yeah, I've had to watch it for a podcast I guested on one time called Bravo something. It was a show where they all watch Bravo shows and they bring on guests who have never watched Bravo before. And I was doing the Star Trek podcast at the time, and they're like, "Hey, you want to come on our show?" And they were like listeners of mine, and I was like,
really?
"Yeah, sure, why not?" And I did, and it was
What did you get out of it? Like what
disgust?
Tell us what the appeal is for this.
I watched Real Housewives of New Jersey, Vanderpump Rules, and something else, I think. And I think Below Decks. And it was all like bad. It was all just really bad, like contrived drama. I don't know. And like you could tell it was like just like a creation of the producers. Like otherwise these women would just like live out their lives semi-normally.
Yeah.
And men on the other shows. But I guess like they feature the husbands too. But like I don't know. It's empty. Completely empty. It's vacuous entertainment to me.
It is. Any conflict is so manufactured and set up, and
right.
The jump cuts between segments and between people, I had difficulty following it.
Right. Like, and yeah, when people are like, "Oh, I like trash TV," I'm always like, "Oh, do you like Max Headroom and like stuff like that?" And they're like,
"Murder She Wrote,"
yeah, like Matlock. And they're it's almost always like, no, I like watch Bravo and stuff. I'm like, oh man,
That's unfortunate.
I think we are the champions of I'm going to gatekeep real trash TV here. So that's garbage TV. We're like garbage light.
Right, exactly. Like we're clean, sortable recyclables.
Yeah. We like wasting our time, just not to the degree you do.
Right.
Well,
That's funny.
Shall we move on to the main event?
Let's do it.
But first, I would like to plug our sponsor, Roger Williams University School of Justice Studies. Keeps this program editorially independent. It keeps us fresh. It keeps us. We scrub ourselves of any advertisers or any untoward influences because of this sponsorship from Roger Williams University School of Justice Studies.
Indeed, they have so many great degree offerings.
Tell us about their programs.
Programs in public administration. We got cloud computing, legal studies, forensic science, cybersecurity, digital forensics, public management. Then coming in at number 2, the big boys, the big dogs over in criminal justice. And then, of course, the leader of the pack, vroom vroom.
Ow! That was my leader of the pack dog. That's I was alphaing you just now. Mogging you, if you will.
Oh, wow. You definitely alpha mogged me there. Leader of the pack mogged me.
You guys remember that song "Leader of the Pack"? And I would go vroom vroom. It like was Leader of the Pack assumed to be like was it a motorcycle song?
Yeah. I mean, why? and then like Twisted Sister like kind of reworked it and made their own version of Leader of the Pack. And they made it their lead single from like their second album, and like no one liked it at all, and it like sank their career.
I had no idea. I'm gonna quit this podcast and go listen to it. I'll be back.
Yeah. Had enough.
Well, it's time for the main event. I've listened to the song now, and I can tell you, I love it.
told her that I was bad, but she knew I was sad. That's why she fell for the leader of the pack.
We talked about Club Fed last time, and this time we're talking about federal prison camp Bryan, a minimum security federal prison camp in Bryan, Texas, that our own Eric Bronson has visited.
Yes, I have. In over in eastern, well, I guess if you're east central Texas, yeah, and
it's roughly 100 miles outside of Houston. And this is a facility for female inmates that opened in 1989. It is operated by the Federal Bureau of Prisons, so it's run federally. And there has recently been more attention on the idea of this being one of those club fed prisons. And why do we think that is?
It's all propaganda to me, but we're going to send some high profile people there. And we're going to think that, it's a minimum security institution, or it's called a camp. So therefore, we're going to think that it's, easy living.
I can guarantee you there are a lot of camps that are not easy living in history.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, you guys should have seen the summer camp I went to. It was... the food was pretty bad.
That's exactly what I was talking about. Exactly.
Now, there has been more attention on this facility in Bryan, Texas, because of the sentencing of Ghislaine Maxwell and her transfer over to this facility in Bryan, Texas, transferring over from, I believe, a medium security facility. And for context, 64-year-old Ghislaine Maxwell is serving a 20-year sentence on federal time for helping Jeffrey Epstein traffic and sexually abuse underage girls. Now, producer Britt, what can you tell us about Ghislaine Maxwell?
Oh, well, she comes from a socialite family. Her father, Robert Maxwell, was this media guy and a politician. I think he was like French something, but famously, it's very well thought, and it's somewhat documented that he was an informant and a collaborator with Mossad, the Israeli intelligence agency.
Okay, so yeah, she's got her hands dirty. That's what we're saying. She was transferred to Bryan, Texas, and the federal prison camp in July 2025, a few days after she was interviewed, and said, the president was a gentleman. I never saw him do anything untoward. So he just coincidentally transferred to a nicer upscale facility. And she has since been interviewed on February 9th of this year of our Lord 2026. And she pled the fifth. She did not answer any questions. And she said that she's not going to say anything more on Epstein or anyone named in the files until she receives a commutation of her sentence by the president. Which seems like it's a little too quid pro quo for my taste. I don't know about you two.
Yeah, but I don't know that it is for the government. I think it's right up their alley. He's like, hey, get you your own jet if you want.
Yeah, we're wheeling and dealing.
Yeah.
So it's drawn some heat, some pushback from Congress, from the public, because we recognize that this woman has done some very, 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 very problematic things, and we would like her to stay put in that prison, or even a prison that is higher security, because this FBC Bryan supposedly does not, by policy, they're not supposed to hold anyone convicted of a sexual offense. And
correct.
Just like your expert opinions here. Is sexual trafficking a sexual offense?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I'm no expert.
I would say
but
it's not a. Yeah, it's not one where the individual, it's like conspiracy to commit murder. It's still a violent crime, even if you didn't put your hands on the person or you didn't hold the weapon or pull the trigger. You know, it's kind of like Charles Manson. He never murdered anyone, but definitely, I say it's still definitely a sex crime.
Definitely is a sex crime. So,
yeah.
Before we get any more into Maxwell, I want you to, hey, listener, close your eyes, lay back, and let me paint you a beautiful portrait. FPC Bryan is made on the 37-acre grounds of an old hunting lodge, and this prison has capacity for 635 inmates. The camp has beautiful oak trees all over the grounds. You hear roosters crowing in the morning. Britt, this is where
cock-a-doodle-doo.
Thank you. And you see school buses passing the camp to pick up the kids. There's some freedoms here. Women can go outside when they choose to go outside. Women have a right to choice. They can walk the track. They can go sit on the grass. Inmates live in dorms. They have 4 to 8 person cubicles with 2-person bunk beds. They even have worship services for Christian, Jewish, and Muslim inmates. They have full-time medical staff on hand. There's some nearby hospitals to pick up the slack for whatever they're unable to cover. And there's jobs. Incarcerated women, they're expected to work. Most of them get 12 to 90 cents an hour. And most of the work there is like food service or factory work. And the prison itself, hey, open your eyes now. It's fine. I hope you're not driving, listener.
Well, no. I got
king of sound effects.
Yeah, the grounds of this prison. Just so for those of you who have not been around an institution, it's important for you to understand that most institutions landscaping looks really good because they have the workforce there to maintain a really high level landscaping, both inside and outside of the wall. FPC Bryan is one of the most picturesque institutions I've been to. I mean, the grounds are just majestic almost. It really looks nice. It does not, when you look at this, you're just like, wow, that is a well-maintained nursing home or something from the outside. If you didn't know it was a prison, it looks really, really nice. The grounds, they do a very good job of keeping up the grounds around the institution. And those oak trees are these old spectacular trees that just, sprawl across the landscape and provide all kinds of shade. It is a very, very well-maintained institution.
Yeah, I would love to see a place like this. I remember visiting Framingham, the women's prison in Massachusetts, and thinking, this is like it's like a college campus here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Without the context and without the razor wire fences, you think, oh, this is like a satellite campus for somewhere that's well maintained.
Yeah.
So, like many other federal prison camps, it is known for holding white-collar criminals. Notably, one of their most notable inmates, who's since been outranked here by Ghislaine Maxwell, is Theranos founder Elizabeth Holmes.
Mm-hmm.
She was convicted of wire fraud and conspiracy to commit wire fraud. We also have Jen Shah, who was a cast member of the Real Housewives of SLC for 3 seasons. We love Real Housewives on this podcast. She was also convicted of conspiracy to commit wire fraud. For her, it was for her involvement in a telemarketing fraud scheme.
How are we going to call them a real housewife when they're a fraud?
Oh my.
Is her house the big house? We also have Michelle Janavs, who had a connection to the 2019 college admissions bribery scandal. We had Leah Fastow, a former Enron assistant treasurer, convicted of tax fraud and failing to report over $200K in illegal income from the company. And Deandra Johnson, the former executive director of the Housing Authority in Killeen, Texas. She stole over $300,000 in HUD funds designated for low-income housing. So the best of the worst. So those are our famous white-collar criminals. There's a few that fall outside the norm for the camp. Like we have recording artist Icy Blue, spelled BLU, who was convicted of possession with intent to distribute 50 grams or more of methamphetamine. Ruby Jane McMillan, methamphetamine distribution ring was what she was known for. And she also had a conspiracy to distribute on her charges. And finally, Jenna Ryan, a Jan Sixer, who participated in our 2021 Capitol attack.
Wait, her sentence wasn't commuted?
It was.
Oh, okay.
But she was one of the famous.
Right.
She's an alum.
Yeah, proud alum. do you think they get like sweatshirts afterwards?
Yeah.
Like proud Bryan dad.
FPC Bryan alumni.
Yes. The camp at Bryan offers a work release program, so some inmates can leave during the day, come back at night. And inmates also can work on a nursing degree during their incarceration. And some inmates can train puppies to become service dogs, which we do here in Rhode Island as well.
Oh, yeah.
Did you say they can train to be nurses?
They can train to be nurses in there, which is interesting because often you will hear of human service occupations generally being barred for persons who have felonies on record. And I don't think you're going there. Felony.
Interesting.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Maybe it's just, maybe that's the difference between like an RN and an LVN or something. Maybe an RN, because they can administer, and hand out drugs. Maybe that's the difference. That's very interesting. I didn't. I'm going to look that up here.
Well, Eric, let me tell you, they have cognitive programs. They have behavioral therapy programs, and inmates are allowed weekend visits where they can briefly get in a hug and a kiss and hold the hands of their loved ones. You and I, maybe we take some visits out there, Bryan. And women can take classes on business skills and in foreign languages too. So they actually have like a pretty robust array of programs from what I've been able to find that sounds pretty good in terms of conditions. But they are not without their issues. Just a week ago, the Marshall Project and NBC News reported that 6 women incarcerated at Bryan since 2020 had claimed staff members had pressured them into unwanted sex acts that occurred in blind spots for the cameras where there were no witnesses around. So it becomes a he said, she said type of situation. One woman alleged a prison chaplain sexually abused her in the chapel after grooming her with compliments and hugs for months. And he cornered her in a bathroom and, quote, reached into her underwear. She reported him to a CO and a captain in early 2020, spoke to an investigator, said nothing really came out of the report. And a few days after she reported the chaplain, she was shipped off to a more restrictive facility, which we don't have the full context, but this does feel like there should be some digging into this to show us that it is not retaliation.
Right.
Another woman worked as a clerk in the education department, and she gets her own desk. That makes her feel important. In prison, you don't really have your own spaces, right?
Right.
And the head of the education department would bring her food from the outside, like Chick-fil-A and Starbucks and barbecue. And starting in 2023, her boss, Donald Ross, would send her to the storage closet to organize supplies. And you see where this is going. Because they're not putting cameras in the storage closet. So allegedly Donald would join her, groping her and forcing her to perform oral sex. And another woman also alleges that Donald groped her. This guy, Donald, says inmates are playing games. He got investigated and had to walk around with an escort for a while. Eventually he gets cleared of all wrongdoing and gets to go back on his own. And he eventually stopped working there, I believe. And claimed it had nothing to do with that. Another woman claimed a CO grabbed her butt twice while she was handcuffed in a hallway without cameras. It was all these allegations. Most of the women who reported wanted to remain anonymous for fear of retaliation. And a spokesman for the department, Donald Murphy, said, "I can't discuss the allegations or investigations, but the Bureau does thoroughly investigate all claims."
Okay.
But it has to be a scary thing, right? Because there's no consensual sex or consensual relations between inmates and staff anywhere.
No.
And the power imbalance is off the charts. We're talking about the keepers and the kept.
Mm-hmm.
So for these women, like they are in a position where, like they can say no, but if they can be overpowered, and
then they're always doubted.
Right. Exactly. And because it is a he said, she said situation where they're not going to put cameras on every inch of the facility, predators can get to them. And like the predators here know the problem as well as they do.
Right. Right. And they know how to work the system to make sure that they that they can set things up to make it look like they're innocent and make it look like they, that nothing was going on. They're in a tough spot. Female inmates are in a real tough spot. I remember at a conference years ago, we were talking about inmate issues, and somebody brought up, we were talking about female inmates and the issues that they face, and one of them was should all staff inside female institutions be female staff as well, because it would their argument was it would greatly reduce the threat of sexual assault cases and fake accusations of sexual assault.
Yeah.
And he was pretty convincing in his argument.
Mm-hmm.
It's true, but it's also like, so in that case, should only men work in male facilities too? Because
I'm sure he would jump on. Yeah, I'm sure he'd jump right away on that. Yeah, and say, yeah. But I know some of the best correctional officers that I've ever seen, whether working with them or just meeting them, they're women, because they don't go in with their chest up, chest out to, hey, I'm going to go throw fists. I'm going to talk. The women go in there and they're going to talk the situation down and de-escalate. And
yeah, completely agree. And I like the balance of having both, and having worked in a co-ed facility, it was really nice having female COs working as well. And they carry a different influence often. Like a lot of them would be verbally, they could get what some guys would resort to force to get in terms of compliance. And I saw that they were often more effective in that respect.
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard to say. And some of our shifts, like they would make a woman stay over because they go, well, we have to have a woman on shift in booking because otherwise who's going to pat down women? So it's understandable, but it would also suck to be a woman and be held over and have to work overtime just because of your gender.
Right.
So it does open problems. But back to the facility and Ghislaine Maxwell, with the standards that we have for receiving placement at a federal prison camp, it is highly unusual that someone with a sex offense, such as Ghislaine Maxwell, would be placed there. And there's been a lot of buzz on the appropriateness of her placement in low security, since there is such a severity to the crimes for which she was convicted. And she's there on a 20-year bid, and the camp is designed to hold short-term offenders serving 5 years or less. But Maxwell says she's happier there.
Well, that's that's the fun part is, we are supposed to take into consideration, the people's happiness while they're incarcerated, right?
I don't think that
when we're doing classification and we're going down and we're putting our scores of predicted custody issues. Oh, well, will they be happy at this institution? Yeah, I mean, right. All these, these camps are supposed to be, and I'm willing to bet that if I look it up in if I could find their inmate handbook, or the Federal Bureau of Prisons, little rules or policies, that all these prison camps are supposed to be 2 years or less as preparation for release. And if you got a 20, you shouldn't be there.
Yeah.
No, it's not made for you.
Right.
And other things here, I mentioned some of the classes they have. They also have gym classes. They have yoga classes. They have art programs with beading, knitting, ceramics, paper art, crocheting, quilling, working on canvas. There's no cell blocks. There's no guard towers. They have a ping pong table.
This literally
music programs and intramural competitions.
This is a summer camp then.
Well, here's the
this
thing.
is all the
We
things I did
need
at summer
those
camp.
things.
Do they have canoeing too? Like,
Yeah, we need those things for our inmates.
yeah.
But not for somebody who's got 20 years. Not right, not right because, I went ahead and, gave enough money donation to somebody to get me moved.
So are you too familiar with the special privileges that Maxwell has at FBC Bryan?
Not
No.
really, no.
So she has all of her meals delivered to her in her cell. Apparently, inmates are not allowed to prepare her meals. I watched a lot of like CNN clips and just anywhere online that people were discussing this.
People in solitary get the same privilege.
That's true. But she is allowed to walk around the grounds as she wants. She gets a 4-person cell to herself, not even 3 other people.
Wow.
She can use the chaplain's office to meet with guests, which is highly unusual.
Mm-hmm.
And right before she arrived, CNN reported that the warden gathered all the inmates around. There was like a town hall, and the warden told the inmates, don't mess with Maxwell. Don't even talk about Maxwell.
Huh.
And some of the inmates raised complaints about this and about some of her special treatment and her placement there, and they were moved out of the facility for their complaints.
Wow.
Yeah. And she gets special privileges like late night workouts. She can go to the gym any time of day she wants.
Wow.
And she's allowed to shower after other inmates are in bed for the night. How about this one, you guys? She gets an unlimited supply of toilet paper when most inmates get 2 rolls per week.
Wow. I mean,
Yeah.
Well, that's because she's full of shit.
I was gonna say, does she really need it? Like, is that?
I can't tell you the answer to that because I don't know. All I have is the information in front of me of she gets unlimited toilet paper, which if we're selling that on the black market, that's an extra
Right.
like for that 1 ply they're rolling and
Oh yeah, like
prisons do.
how many soups do you get for a roll of toilet paper? What's the conversion
Right?
rate? Oh.
Exactly. She could be like masterminding running this whole prison from the underground just by the toilet paper exchange.
Right.
She also complained at one point. She said, there's women looking into my cell from some tables situated nearby. And of course, they moved the tables the next day.
You gotta be kidding me.
No, she gets like this special access and she can apparently talk to the warden for help whenever she wants, which is unusual because most inmates can't just say it's like if I walk to the president of the university's door and knock, knock, knock. Hey, I got to talk to him. I'm walking in. It doesn't work that way. Like the head of an organization is not usually that accessible, especially to inmates.
No.
If you had to guess, like, why do you think she gets these special measures?
Because she knows. Yeah, we know she's got some dirt on folks. And they're, if they're not going to commute her sentence or, set her free, give her a pardon, they better keep her happy and quiet until, right before Trump leaves office.
Right. I think there is some kind of unspoken expectation that he will pardon her on his way out and hope that it's like under the radar when obviously it won't be.
No,
so according to
huge news,
according to spokespeople from the prison, no inmate should get preferential treatment, and I think we can all agree on this. I once dealt with one of the vice presidents of the company LG, one of the North American vice presidents, and she was giving me and the sergeant a real go around with, "Don't you know who I am?" And we said, no, because nobody knows that stuff. And she said, "I'm the vice president of LG." Hey, hurry up, get me processed. And the sergeant said, listen, ma'am, like with an attitude like that, you're not going to get processed faster. It doesn't work that way.
Right.
Looks like life's not good.
Thanks, Fred. Come in hot.
We are just killing them today.
I'm here for quips today.
Today we've got like a moratorium on good jokes.
Is this the prison breakdown podcast, or have we gone to some type of stand-up comedy show? My goodness.
So nobody should get preferential treatment, but according to a press release, Maxwell has received death threats, and spokespeople say, "Oh, but these measures are necessary to ensure her safety." But I don't know that they are. Like, having unlimited toilet paper does not ensure my safety.
Right.
So she has actually gone on, not on record, I wouldn't say about this, but there was a letter leaked to the press. And on Maxwell's arrival at FCP Bryan, she wrote, "The institution is run in an orderly fashion, which makes for a safer, more comfortable environment for all people concerned, inmates and guards alike. The kitchen looks clean, too. No possums falling from the ceiling to fry, unfortunately, on ovens and become mingled with the food being served." No possums falling from the ceiling to fry, unfortunately, on ovens and become mingled with the food being served. Britt?
That's great.
I mean, if you're going to complain about the food, like, you know, there's worse meats than possum, I think.
Probably true.
Yeah.
Well, I think that you need to go do a little research there, Professor. Didn't you say you had one in your backyard yesterday?
That's true. I did find a dead possum in my backyard. So I think it's time to fry one up. Put one in the oven and fry it up. I don't think she knows how ovens work.
Looks like possum's back on the menu, boys.
Maxwell went on to say, the food is legions better than where she had been doing time previously in FCI Tallahassee, this more restrictive prison. And she said, I haven't seen or heard the usual foul language or screaming accompanied by threats leveled at inmates or by anyone. I have not seen a single fight, drug deal, passed out person, or naked inmate running around, or several of them congregating in a shower. In other words, I feel like I have dropped through Alice in Wonderland's looking glass. I am much, much happier here, and more importantly, safe. So, yes, everyone can breath a sigh. I think I'm about to say breathe, but she's bad at spelling.
Well,
so I have some issues with what she says there. I think that all incarcerated people should have the safety that she's describing.
Yeah.
Yep. But it sounds like it's not even extended to the other people within FCI Bryan.
Yeah, because those people don't have compromat on the president.
Right.
So.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you from some of what I read, like Elizabeth Holmes and Jen Shaw, those two bonded on poop duty one day. So inmates have to do like poop duty. I don't think Maxwell is doing poop duty.
Probably not.
No. Well, I mean, I hope not with all that toilet paper she has.
Maybe that's why she gets it all, because she's on poop duty.
So Maxwell's attorney called the publication of his client's emails tabloid reporting and said, it's time to get over the fact that she's in a safer facility. We should want that for everyone. And I agree on that part. But it is not time to get over the fact that she's in a safer facility when she is maybe the most notorious sex trafficker alive.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah.
Right. And that's the thing. It's not like, you know, from all signs of everything that we've learned about what the hell was going on, she is not a victim of Epstein's here. She was full-fledged in on this doing her own dirty work.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she was going out finding, you know, women,
recruiting,
girls.
Yeah,
right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Now, maybe she was acting under the threat that her lifestyle would change if she didn't participate. But
oh no,
I don't think there's any like Stockholm syndrome going on here.
no.
But I don't think so because she's already rich, right?
She was.
Like,
She
what does
was.
have to
Like
gain?
her father was rich.
Right.
She comes from a rich family. Yeah.
Just like rich and bored. Like, what does she have to gain?
Right.
She only had
Compromat.
anything to lose from here. What's that?
If it's to be believed that she was an agent for Mossad, she has compromat to gain.
Oh, that's true.
You know, lots of blackmail right there.
Interesting.
Working with Epstein.
Yeah. That's
Very
true.
rich and powerful people.
Yeah.
And Chris
Yeah.
Tucker.
And Chris Tucker. Most recently, former Real Housewife of Salt Lake City, Jen Shah, commented on her former prison mate, Ghislaine Maxwell. Jen Shah was just released in December, so they only spent a few months in the same areas. They had fairly limited interactions, but Shah said Maxwell has a very disparate experience from everyone else at the prison camp. She's treated so differently, as I just talked about. And Maxwell is making it very publicly known that she feels no remorse for her role in the sex trafficking operation that got her convicted.
Wild.
Shah wants the public to know she worked in recreation and wanted to distance herself from Maxwell. We're not friends, Maxwell. That's her message.
Good for her.
I don't blame her. Maxwell can't have that many friends there, right?
No.
Let's hope not.
I would yeah, I would assume no.
I assume no, too. So let's close in discussion of the two-tiered legal system. This is like at the end of Jerry Springer when Jerry gives his final thoughts. Justice is a funny concept. Our legal system protects you and gives you better treatment if you're rich. And if you're poor, good luck. You're probably on your own unless you are that one Jan Sixer who ended up here. I don't think inmates like Ghislaine Maxwell should be forced to eat possum if that's actually any reality of the federal prison system. But I don't think any inmates should have to eat possum. That's my 2 cents.
Right. Right.
Or maybe all inmates should get to eat possum.
You know what? I agree. It should be an opportunity. Like if they find a dead possum in the backyard, they should all be able to join in on a cookout and
Make some
have the dead possum. I don't want them hunting possum.
Yeah.
Throw it in the stew.
Make some stew with some soup packets.
Yeah.
Boil them bones. Make a nice possum stock.
First off, gross. Second, awesome. Eric, of the three of us, I think you are the most likely one to have tried possum. A man who's lived in Texas, a place populated with possums, a possum city out there.
Kentucky also, I spent several years in Kentucky.
Double possum.
Yeah, definitely. But no, I never tried any possum in my life. Now, I will tell you an interesting story. Heading out to the prison one day, driving along, and this is over in the hills in western Kentucky. So I'm heading out to the Green River Correctional Complex for work, and driving along, I see like down at the bottom of a valley, pass a car going the opposite direction, and I see them braking in my rearview mirror, and I just kind of peek and watch, and all of a sudden I see them stop. And their door opens, and then I see a hand reach out of the driver's side door and reach down onto the road and pick up the roadkill that was out there and pull it into their vehicle and drive off. Nums.
It's good meat.
Tender.
Fucking yuck. First off. Do you know that it was possum? Did you see what it was?
I don't know if it was possum. It could have been squirrel or raccoon or rabbit. Yeah.
Do you remember the Roadkill Cafe? There used to be these shirts that you would see on people that would say Roadkill Cafe. Was that a real place?
It had to have been somewhere, right?
Probably.
I mean, that's too easy of, coming up with, an ironic name of a restaurant.
There are a few places around that have this roadkill cafe. You kill it, we grill it.
Yeah.
But I don't know that this was. So Bartlett, New Hampshire had a real roadkill cafe. All right. It's too bad. You kill it, we grill it. That's such a slogan for a place. All right. Well, what do you two think? FPC Bryan, Ghislaine Maxwell, roadkill. Please reflect.
Yeah. What a combination.
What have we learned?
We've learned that it's good to have money if you go to prison.
Yeah. And blackmail.
Power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's not just the money buying her way through. It's the money and the power.
Yeah, and it's definitely more power than, because we got a lot of rich people locked up. It's definitely whatever dirt she has.
Lock them all up, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's depressing, and we'll follow up on this story as we see any updates in the news. But for now, she's got it may be the cushiest federal women's facility in the United States.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and especially her position there affords her a certain level of comfort that most people don't get to enjoy.
Yep.
Well, on that downer note, let's move on to the movie Minuto.
Movie minute. Movie minute. 60 seconds with producer Britt to talk about movies.
Let's put 60 seconds on the clock. I managed to mess up the word 60. Great. All right. So, The Last Days of American Crime is a 2020 action crime thriller directed by Oliver Megaton, best known for The Transporter 2 and Taken 2 and 3, and written by Carl Gajdweck, best known as the showrunner for Season 1 of Stranger Things. The movie stars Edgar Ramirez as the cheapest Gerard Butler lookalike they could find, who is named Brick. And also Michael Pitt, star of Stage and Screen. And together, they concoct a plan to rob the city's money factory. Their words, not mine, not a treasury, a money factory.
Money factory.
Okay, I follow.
In the midst of all this, the government is testing something called the American Peace Initiative, a synaptic blocker that will prevent citizens from committing crimes. This movie was bad. Like, very, very bad. Boring, poorly written, poorly acted, dumb, and way overlong, with a runtime of 2.5 hours. The only redeeming part of the film was they shelled out for a Portishead song, and I love Portishead, so halfway decent soundtrack at times. Overall, this movie earned every little bit of its 0% on Rotten Tomatoes. It sucks. 1 out of 5 soups.
It was a 0%er. Tell me, did you watch it on 1.5 speed at a certain point? You're just like, I can't take this anymore?
No, I watched the whole thing all the way through. I was on my phone part of the time, but like,
I did it. I gave him something for 1 soup.
It was really bad.
That's a warm feeling.
It was really bad.
Was there anything you liked about it besides the song?
Yeah, not really. Like, some of Michael Pitt's decisions were like unhinged and kind of fun. Other than that, it was
ironically, right? Like, it wasn't something that they were trying to do where they were like, oh, well,
maybe. I'm not sure. It was very Joker-fied in the film, I'll say.
All right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, pretty miserable. I had a miserable experience. Thanks a lot, Judge Bronson.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
In the justice system, the lady justice, she carries a scale.
Mm-hmm.
Can tip one way or the other. So I'm here to set things straight. Let's put you with a more recent film that looks like it could be an entertaining romp. A little something called Crime 101.
Mm-hmm.
It'll teach you the basics, teach you about what crime is. It's like what Eric and I teach for freshmen.
Okay.
Yeah. And we'll have you report back to us in a couple weeks on this Crime 101.
Yes.
Well,
love it.
Is that it?
I already gave my Jerry's final thought. The last thing I do have is federal prisons. How do you two feel about our federal prison system? And do you think federal prison camp sounds bad, or do you think it sounds like a club fed?
I feel like
a couple of weeks of discussing
minimum security is like a good model to like instill trust in prisoners, and we've seen, especially from like Northern European nations, that their lower to minimum security models are fairly productive and have very low recidivism. And so, I don't know, looking into that probably isn't a bad idea. I feel bad about our maximum security prisons federally, all of them. I don't think there's such thing as a good one. Even the most efficient, best run, safest one is still not a great place, I don't think.
Yeah, that's, the thing about the federal prison system that I support is that they do have significantly higher levels of opportunities for the inmates to improve themselves. Better options for classes, school, college, those, and then obviously they have all kinds of opportunities for for trying to gain certificates that they could use to possibly help them once they get out. And so that's the thing I support. And going along with what Britt said, the federal penitentiaries are they've moved in such a direction that they mirror, I think, more of state-run supermaxes, where lockdowns are so common because in the federal system at that higher level, the gangs are such a horrible problem that they're constantly locking people down. That the inmates spend 3 days locked down, they let them out, and then half a day later, lockdown because there was a fight. And then that's just an easy way to deal with something like that for a few hours or a few days even, to try and control folks. And our propensity in the United States to build bigger and try to be more efficient clearly does not work when it comes to corrections. And we have to remember the root of that is that we are supposed to be correcting people.
Agreed. It is the laziest form of crowd control is what it sounds like.
Yeah.
And you're trying to control this mass of people in a facility, and locking them all down is sure. It's easy, but is it humane? Is it
right?
And locking people down for the mistakes of one person, trying this like aggregate punishment when it's punishing the deeds of an individual is it's an informal punishment on the individual and a formal punishment for everyone involved and even not involved. And that sucks.
Yeah. Yeah. Agreed.
Well, team, one more question for Bronson. Bronson, having been to a federal prison camps and having seen their more high security facilities, is there a clear market difference between the two? And would you want to do your time in that federal prison camp?
Yeah, the difference between them it's drastic. It's dramatic how the difference between them. So it's if I was locked up, I would want to pull a Maxwell here and get one of those camps and get all the toilet paper I need for the week.
Maybe don't use the phrase "pull a Maxwell" like ever in relation to Ghislaine Maxwell. I don't think that's a very good look for you, Bronson.
I've always described Bronson as like the Ghislaine Maxwell of the School of Justice Studies.
Definitely.
Does that make you the Epstein?
We have similar haircuts.
Well, team, I hope you like this podcast. If you did, check us out on Apple Music. Check us out on the podcast app. Check us out on Spotify. We're probably on Tidal. I don't know.
We're on Deezer, baby.
Oh, yeah.
Deezer?
iHeartRadio.
Oh, yeah.
All right. All right. Well, check us out on that. And thanks, iHeartRadio, for coming up with another thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, rate, subscribe. Write us a cool review. Write it in like 200 words. Write a manifesto about this episode. I don't care. Talk about how great producer Britt is on the ones and twos.
Yeah, write Industrial Society and its implications part 2 about this podcast if you want.
Or just put I likey.
yeah. Bronson is a simple man.
It's about all I can manage.
And thanks again, Roger Williams University School of Justice Studies, for doing your thing. We love you. And you know what else we love? Lights out.
Yeah, we do.
Lights out.